mean,
it's all based on feelings. This is how this is making me feel.
Yeah.
And feelings are stupid. They're not something,
Remember, kids, feelings are stupid. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to Touchy Reactions. I'm Ryan, this is my sister Danyell, and we are finally back for another Welcome to Wrexham reaction. We're actually going to film 2 today because we had a week off. I had a big concert to go to last weekend and we got behind. So today we're going to be checking out episode 6, Red Dragons, and then we're going to run right behind it tomorrow and drop episode 7 called Life or Death. So look out for that. Last week, or the last one we dropped, episode 5, had some sort of music across the entire video that YouTube did not like. It had a full Disney copyright on it. I'm hoping this wasn't the way for them to tell us that they figured out a way to stop us from reacting to these by just subtly hiding some sort of song in the whole video, because it was weird.
Why would they want us to not do it? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. But anyway, if for some reason I can't get it to upload this week, it'll be over on Patreon for free. And you guys won't know that until you're already over on Patreon watching this. So I don't even know why I'm saying it. Anyway, ready to jump into it?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is episode 6, Red Dragons of Wrexham. Here we go.
The Red Dragon's been the symbol of Wales for over 1,000 years. As the myth goes, the Welsh Red Dragon defeated the White Dragon, representing the Saxons. The Red Dragon represented hope, resistance, resilience, and the identity of a people who never gave in and survived through adversity. But adaptation became a matter of survival. When the world itself stands against you, something deeper ignites. 5 stories, 5 fires. A team searching for resistance, chasing a historical dream. Heroes facing changes as they are sidelined from the kingdom they helped build.
Yeah.
A mission connecting enduring spirits that spans continents. A boy proving that resilience is ageless. And a man battling his own body through the streets of New York. This is Wrexham. In an ever-changing world, they will adapt. But like the icon of Wales, they always fight the good fight.
Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget why you're made of. The ones who were there when no one else would get. Don't be afraid to cry now, even when the world comes crashing in. Don't forget to sing when you win. Don't forget to sing when you win.
All right. Love it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Wrexham AFC. It's Wrexham against Leyton Orient this time. This is going to be a proper test against the side who are in a playoff spot. Dean sweeps it under the bar. Nasty one, it's there! Radmo! Again! He just can't stop scoring. That's 5 for this season. Front misses interception and it's in. Oh, and Wrexham will be frustrated at by Rodriguez. Volley back in and it's a goal. What a goal that is! We lose at the racecourse for only the 2nd time this season. Frustration.
They didn't even give us time to react to that. That was just like, we scored, they scored, they scored. Those highlights are over.
And who was the goalkeeper? Because it wasn't...
Howard.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Howard.
For Wrexham.
Oh, sorry. What'd they nickname him?
Jurassic Mark.
Jurassic Mark.
Every drop point is the end of the world at the moment, it feels like. In terms of the wider hysteria and fan response, where if we draw a game, that's it, it's the end of the world, Parky out. If we lose a game, dare I say, then that's it, Parky out, replace the players, we need a whole new starting 11.
I just think there's a little bit more added pressure these days. Serious amounts of pressure.
Mansfield Town against Wrexham. The sub-bench for Wrexham, as you might imagine. We've got Paul Mullin, as the ball's helped on in midfield by Bacchus, but cleared, and Cannon's charging away. Oh, and I think he's hurt. He doesn't look good at all.
Oh, man.
What a blow that is. Oh, just off behind Dobson. Cleworth drills in! Cleworth! Again! And there is the final whistle. That is a huge, huge result for Wrexham.
Andy, great win against Mansfield Town on the weekend.
Yeah, he didn't get to play, but it was nice to see Moles back in the matchday squad. It's just really upsetting about Andy Cannon's injury.
Yeah, ruptured ACL, not good. Really, really tough injury for him.
Yeah, those are hard to come back from, those ACLs. Yuck.
But he'll get the best care possible for a quick return.
It's Wrexham against Rotherham United. Rodriguez gets in front of his man and flicks it on beautifully. Smith, what a moment, the keeper, round the keeper and scores! Sam Smith opens up the scoring. What a noise here at the racecourse. Wrexham get the win, a huge win. It's the strikers, Smith, Rodriguez, Fletcher, all did tremendously.
Still love Mullin though. I'd like to see Mullin back, to be honest.
It was nervy, but we got there. And Liam, is it a two-horse race now?
It definitely feels like it really is in our hands.
Definitely got the second in the league now. I've no doubt about it, to be honest here.
I can't believe by the time we come round to next week's pod, we're going to be in single digits for games left. That is
wow. We're almost at the end of the season.
I guess so. I'm curious how many episodes there's going to be. 7, 8, maybe? I wonder.
Probably 8, maybe? We got 2 we're watching today. That means we got 1 left next week.
Absolutely crazy.
We're going to go up. We're going to go up no matter what. We will be in the Premiership no matter what.
You might have to come over Wednesday or Thursday because I'm leaving for Florida on Friday. So you might have to come over next week after work and we'll knock that last one out.
Yeah, but I don't get done working till 7 on weekdays.
We can do it 8, 9 o'clock. It's only an hour. For them. You got to do it for them, Daniel.
All right.
They can't wait 3 weeks.
You know I'm
it'll be 3
sleepy
weeks.
Human.
It'll be 3 weeks. If we don't do it this week, it'll be 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm mentally preparing you for coming over after work.
All right.
Here we go.
Outgoings, potential outgoings. There's a lot of discussion about Palmer.
Ollie.
I mean, how much are we reading into that?
Rodriguez and Sam Smith coming in, they are the type of player that would really force Palmer out of the squad.
Can we just talk about Mullin? Where do we think we are with Mullin now?
Paul Mullin is just the eternal question for Wrexham fans at the moment because, we love the guy.
It's a shame that Mullin's disappeared off the
I'd love to see Mullin given a chance,
I'm not sure if he's still injured or not.
It's a shame about Paul Mullin not even making the bench these days. Palmer as well, they're 2 players that have got us to where we are, but obviously got to trust in the manager.
Alright.
You alright?
Yeah.
Gaffer pulled me today.
Yeah.
I was completely left out of the squad as of today in training. And I know the industry that I'm in, it's ruthless. And I know the club that I'm at, it moves so fast. But I love it here. The hard bit is where you go from playing every week to all of a sudden you're 7.
Well, you played 6 months out of 9.
Well, I know. Stevenage at home was the last game I played this season. If I'm being totally honest, it's slightly more mentally challenging. I've never been left out of a squad before. Obviously, you're training with the boys throughout the week, knowing that you're not going to be involved unless something unforeseen happens, such as an injury or a suspension.
It's undeniable with Ollie Palmer. When he plays, we win games.
I remember the day that we signed him, he played that night and scored on his debut, didn't he? He's been great. But it's a different level now.
He's not scoring goals, but he puts in the other type of work, the dirty work, like defending, clearing corners. He's always trying, he's always after it. Yeah, it's like Mullin, they just can't score at the moment.
And that's what their job is.
Yeah.
If they, I understand, yes, good defender, all of that, but that's not what their job is.
My first thought was that they're not even making the bench. How's that even possible? Because when they were starters, there were people on the bench. But then I start to realize the bench has to be made up of people that play all the different positions. So there's probably only 1 or 2 strikers on the bench, if any.
And I love both of those guys. I wouldn't want, and I'm not knocking anything about them, but there's got to be at some point when you say, okay, we've leveled up and you just aren't to this level.
Yeah. So I believe there's a limit to how many players you can suit up for a match.
Gotcha.
You got the players on the field, and then you can have so many bench players. And because you don't know who's going to get injured, you have to have a goalie. You got to have a backup defenders. So there's only so many spots on the bench for strikers. They've got these 2 new guys.
Right.
Actually, 3 new guys. So the third new guy is probably they're paying them lots of money. They're not going to be putting them on the practice.
So of course it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because those 2 guys have been so much a part of getting Wrexham to where they're at right now.
That is the brutal part of this entire scenario.
And it couldn't have been easy either for Parky to do that because he seems like somebody who appreciates loyalty, and these guys have put the work in.
But as a fan, you have to appreciate that he made the tough call.
Right.
Because his job is to put the best players on the field to give the team the best chance of winning, regardless of how much you love the guys.
Right, because it's Team Wrexham, not Team Ollie Parker or Team Paul.
It doesn't mean he can't be friends with them still. It's just he's got to do what he's got to do.
I'm going to miss Ollie, though. He's real easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
He's not scoring goals, but he puts in the other type of work, the dirty work, like defending, clearing corners. He's always trying. He's always after it. Yeah, it's like Mullin. They just can't score at the moment.
So last night you weren't in the squad?
Nope.
Tell me about that.
It's been hard to just find myself in this position now from where I've been. It's been tough to take and felt like it's through no fault of my own. I've had mental struggles this season, mainly from coming back from injury. They got the surgery and they told me it'd be 6 weeks and then I could start running, and then once, obviously, I got a little bit fitter, I could get back involved in things. But for some reason, after probably 8 to 10 weeks, I was still having severe pains while I was training. The surgeon decided to tell me that it can take up to 6 months for you to feel full relief. So that was challenging because I want to give even more to make sure that when I go on the pitch I'm myself. It's been tough coming back mentally because I've never been injured for that long before, and then you start overthinking things, and I haven't felt the same mentally as I did before. And then this year sort of came back and I was just, obviously I understood I was going to have to wait for an opportunity because the lad who'd been playing in my absence had been doing really well. But when the opportunity came, I thought that would be it, and it'd be a chance to carry on from where I left off, and it sort of didn't transpire that way. And I let that get to me, to be honest. From everywhere I've been to then only being allowed to play 4 games, just finding myself and being left off the team, I resented it. Carried that for weeks because I feel it was unjust.
So what's the difference between annoyance and resentment?
To be fair, it's probably the same.
I think annoyance is when you're like questioning yourself, and resentment is when you're questioning the people who make the decisions. So that'd be my answer to that question.
God, that's a rough interview though, man. And I'm gonna give him credit for being honest about. It's hard to admit resentment because that seems petty.
Yeah, I mean.
So I give him credit for being honest about his real feelings.
I could see an interview in the future if he doesn't make the cut where he says he understands because of just the way that his body has let him down this past couple seasons, and the team. I don't know.
I just feel for both of them.
I love them both.
I love them both.
I've been endeared to both of them, and I'm sure the
100%.
city, they will never buy a pint again in the city of Wrexham for the rest of their lives for what they've done for the team.
I mean, they did amazing. Wrexham would not be where Wrexham is right now without those 2 guys.
Right. And I think if you took the most staunch Wrexham supporter and made them make the call, what team are you going to put on the field tonight, they'd probably make the same call with regards to not having... They might put these guys on the bench.
Right. Just for sentiment's sake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you gave whoever's out there typing angry things right now, if you give them, hey, okay, it's your call, who you starting, then this is your lineup, they'll probably still go with.
Because at the end of the day, Wrexham have a goal, and it's not to be stagnant. It's to continually move forward.
Right. And they're sitting really close to that goal right now.
So close.
It's not the time to be playing sentimental favorites. Right?
No.
Here we go.
Same. It's probably just a different way of... No, I think I'm more annoyed now.
And I'm assuming the annoyance, well, the annoyance is towards who or what?
It's more annoyance of like training every single day, doing everything I can, obviously looking back on everything I've done.
And Mullin scores his 100th! His 100th goal for the club.
Like feeling like I was a main part of why we got to this situation.
And you would be right.
And then feeling like I'm not being allowed the platform to get back there or the opportunity to go and do it again.
I think Paul...
Sort of like he's not being allowed to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
Well, I mean, you got to think of what his motivation is. He's taken this team from the bottom to where they're at.
Right.
And as an individual player with goals of his own career, he wants to make it back to he wants to get to the Premier League. And this looked like a really good vessel to do that for him. And now he's seeing that he might not be allowed to stay on the ride as long as he was hoping. And his dreams are quickly
And he's not wrong.
He
did help. He was a vessel that helped Wrexham get here.
Right. And it's going to get to a point where him and
Ollie
are going to have to make a call. Do I want to sit on a bench at Wrexham or do I want to start somewhere else?
Yeah.
And, you know,
what
is
sad.
best for my career? Because there's plenty of League Two teams that would be happy to have him. Or whatever league. I get the leagues mixed up.
Mullin needed a full pre-season. He's been playing catch-up all year long. Ultimately, he was never going to catch up. We don't have a reserve. We don't play enough friendly fixtures. But you can't expect a player to just, you know, come out cold, straight into the team, do what he's done for the last 2 years. Impossible even for him.
With Mullin and Palmer, we've had this sentimentality for so long because they've literally dragged us kicking and screaming from non-league to where we are.
Yeah.
So when all of a sudden they're kind of like frozen out, it does wrangle with a large proportion of the fan base.
Yeah.
So we have to get used to that aspect of seeing this final run in without those guys.
So talk about your relationship with the manager. Like, he picked you and you thrived and scored and helped the team succeed. And now, obviously, he's not picking you. How do you feel about that relationship and that change?
It's been... I don't know, it's difficult. I don't know what's caused him to trust me less. Well, he clearly does. Well, obviously, he wants the best for the team.
When we brought 2 strikers in January, we always knew we'd have a surplus, so people would find themselves out of the 18-man squad because you can only have 7 substitutes. That's the way it is. Moles didn't just quite get the goals, you know, which he normally does. And I thought he had a good start of the season, Ollie, and he's...
So that's the numbers: 11 on the field, 7 on the bench. That's all you're allowed to suit up.
General performances were decent, but the goals didn't come, and you know, we just needed more from the player in that number 9 role, really. So Paul and Ollie found themselves out there, 18-man squad. It's a harder level than we've been operating at. So both good lads, you know, really good lads, have carried on training well for us. But it's tough. It's a competitive division. To make the step up, it's not easy.
He thinks it's best for me to go out on loan. I said I want to be a part of the promotion. I've given everything to this club and the community and loved it. Why would I then want to... Yeah.
So they're saying that some of the advice he's getting from management is you might want to go look for other options somewhere else. And he's saying, I want to finish this ride, at least for this season. I want to be here if we make it. I want to be part of it. 100%. This is history if we make it, you know what I'm saying? So I get that. I think he would much rather be on the bench for this promotion and then move on with his career somewhere else if he has to, than leave right now and miss out on what could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And I think he deserves to be able to see it through whichever way it's going to go.
Even if it means he's on the practice squad just till the end of the season, especially with less than 10 games to go in the season.
I mean, him and Mullin both deserve to be there to do the victory dance if there's going to be one, because they would not be having a victory dance if it wasn't for...
They built the foundation of what is here right now.
100%.
It's just I've built a bond with the boys and the staff and the fans and everything to do with Wrexham. I just don't know what to do. You don't want to be somewhere where you're not wanted, but my heart is to be at this football club and continue what I've been doing and help the team in any way. So I just don't know. I don't fucking know.
So, what's your plan now? How are you going to get back in the team?
Yes, I say, I've let go of all resentment and anger. And also going forward, I'm just like, well, the only thing I can do is control myself. And lately as well, I've just been making sure that when I go home, I'm satisfied with my day's work.
Yeah.
Not trying to satisfy someone else. Whereas I think that's where it led me the last few months. I was going in trying to satisfy someone else every day. And that don't satisfy me, because I wouldn't be me. Just to play one game in the Championship at Wrexham would be worth absolutely everything. Be the icing on the cake for this story, and who knows where it could end, but I've enjoyed absolutely every minute.
Oh, so he didn't want to just make it to the end of the season. He wants to play at least one game next season.
My heart goes out to him. It's heartbreaking, man.
It's so hard. It's a mental thing. You have to be able to not convince yourself, but let yourself know that sometimes there's just different levels of experience and talent, and your body sometimes doesn't match up to the others, and that's the unfortunate role he's in.
My heart's breaking for both of them.
Mentally, he doesn't feel it. It's kind of like how we don't feel old. You know what I mean?
You may not feel old.
Let me say this differently.
But, oh, God. Oh, I feel old all the time.
Let me say this differently. Sometimes we feel as though we're still young adults.
Mentally, I don't feel old.
That's what I'm saying. That's where he is. I think mentally he's still that young, amazing, top-of-the-line athlete. But his body, just like our bodies, aren't playing along with that scenario.
And if we could get to the championship, then that'd be phenomenal. But from a personal point of view, I don't think I'll have any part to play in it from here on in.
Is there any chance Mullin or Palmer comes back into the fold? Can you see that happening before the end of the season, or do you think that we are just reaching the end of that era?
I think that there's definitely a future for Paul at the football club. I think it's a case of working hard, training hard, and working on the training pitch to dislodge one of the other strikers. I think for Ollie, age is a factor. That's a taller task for him. Another thing I've learned in football is that things can change in the drop of a hat. And if someone gets injured, somebody who is currently further down the pecking order can step into the breach and completely change their fortunes.
It's obviously frustrating, but the club's bigger than any player. And that's just the way it is. Is it tough? Yeah, it's fucking hard, but I'm not going to be a bitch about it. Just going to get my head down, going to work hard, and when an opportunity opens, I'm going to take it.
Like, nothing can change what I've done in the past. Do you know what I mean? So I've achieved that, even if I didn't ever play again. That can't be rewritten. These last 6 months since the summer have been really challenging, but one thing I can guarantee is the next time I do step foot on the pitch, I'll be playing as myself. I haven't been able to give the best version of myself this season through many factors, but I've got no doubt that eventually I'll find myself again, whether it's here or on somewhere else. It's out of my control. I hope it's here, but you never know.
That's rough.
Oh, Paul. We always compare this to Ted Lasso, and I think about Roy's last game, where he, the crowd gave him the respect as he left the field, kind of thing, and he came back as a coach. Maybe Mullin could be an assistant coach.
That's what I was thinking when he said there will always be a place here for Paul.
That's right.
Thousands of runners are making their way from Prospect Park.
So it's 6 weeks until the marathon he's supposed to be running? He's going here to, practice?
I'm sure that's exactly what that is. It's a half marathon.
There you go. I was going to say, man, that's might as well just knock it out and be done with it, but we'll find out. Here we go.
To Central Park for the 2025 New York City Half Marathon.
It starts in Prospect Park, runs over the Brooklyn Bridge through Times Square, and ends there in Central Park.
Today's the day of the half marathon. It's big old stepping stone to the full blinking marathon.
So with the kind of advent of more and more people coming into the club in different roles, my initial sort of handling whatever gets thrown my way has changed a little bit. I was formerly executive director, and now I am community director. In the main now, my focus is much more specifically on the foundation, our charitable arm. In my capacity as sort of community director, I am patron of Wrexham Miners Project, so it just seemed to make sense that if I was going to do some horrible thing like run a marathon, it was going to be...
Hold on. That was one of the players. Oh, that's the old goalkeeper, Howard, from our Hand of Foster. That's the old Foster.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, this is the goalkeeper that made the amazing save to save the season.
Do some horrible thing like run a marathon. It was going to be, on behalf of the foundation, to raise money for a charity that I am patron of.
We wish you all the best of luck here on this Sunday morning. And wave number 3, we have just got word. We have got clearance on the roadway, so we are set to begin. Good morning, Mamma Mia!
Mamma Mia, you're going to have a great race.
United team is coming through.
Target time today is to finish. I think if I get 2.5 hours, I'd be happy with that.
I got way too much ambition.
As a non-runner myself and
obviously being strong enough not to be bullied into doing it, I was able to find a spot just outside Times Square. All of a sudden, there's this vision coming up with Times Square behind him, a 6'7" colossal.
Wow.
As he's running down the middle of the road. And I have to say, I was concerned when I saw him. He certainly didn't look like he was enjoying it. He looked like somebody had thrown a bucket of water over him. But what you could tell was his determination to get to the end. And it makes me proud to say he's my mate.
Just ran the New York half marathon in 2 hours, 24 and 59 seconds. It's really, 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 really hard. No inspirational chat here. It nearly killed me. Oh.
Are you okay?
No.
Right.
Not even nearly.
You're okay for tonight?
That scared the shit out of me, to be honest.
Crossing the finishing line, I didn't really feel a sense of achievement, more just a sense of real dread. And I got to do that twice in a row.
What's your plan now?
Pray. Do you get what you want, you vultures, for your television programme?
Yes! Your suffering is delicious.
If anything, that should kick him into high gear. I mean, like, so it goes total clean eating, whatever you're running daily, at least.
Add a little bit every day.
Every single day. Maybe start some weight training.
I got to imagine as he crossed this finish line, he was thinking to himself, my God, I would have to do this, just turn around and go back right now on the next one?
Right, and that'd be 5. If he did it in the same time, it'd be 5 hours.
Ooh. Good luck, Humphrey.
We're rooting for you.
So as we continue up the football pyramid, the change is constant. Everybody's roles are changing. Somebody like Paul, who is a Wrexham legend, is adjusting to the changes of the squad, as is the nature of the sport. The great news is that Paul is a force of nature in so many different ways, and he has an incredible platform and a desire to reach out and uplift the community, and that's what Wrexham's all about.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Archie.
You okay, kid?
This is a different Archie.
Yeah. How are we?
Good.
Still got your Wrexham gear on then?
Yeah.
Always. There's not enough room for this, though. During my times off, I met up with a good little friend of mine and we had some fun.
That was your last photo with Archie.
Before you shaved your head off, Archie.
Yeah.
Archie, the little star, he's got a rare form of blood cancer, which is obviously not very nice to hear, but him and his time have been spending a lot of time at Alder Children's Hospital in Liverpool.
Dad, I think we're going to be framing a lot of stuff. Yeah.
My name is Sarah, and I'm Archie's mum. Last year, his eyes and nose kept running, very tired. He wasn't himself. And then in the summer when we went away on holiday was when he first had a joint pain attack and his face was totally deformed. That is when I thought he needs to go to the hospital, need to rush him in. And then they decided to get the oncology team involved. We got taken out of the room and he just said, I'm so sorry, he's got a rare cancer called myeloid sarcoma. It's a leukemia. I just felt so numb. It just changed me as a parent. Completely. To tell your child that they have cancer, you can't find the words to say it. I blurted out this speech and he just went, oh, okay. And I remembered the first day of chemotherapy. He was just very quiet, very brave, but very quiet.
His levels have just been doubling, his white blood cells, so he's a bit more protected.
Yeah.
And then
That's
round
good,
2 in
isn't it?
January.
Yeah.
So that's good news, then.
Yeah.
So you're getting stronger every day.
Yeah. I'm like the Hulk.
I'm like the Hulk.
Better than
He has
Hulk.
been like the Hulk, let me tell you.
Oh, like Deadpool.
Archie is my little best friend. and I'm, very proud to be his mum, but to see him being sick daily, unable to walk, was very difficult to watch, and you have to be strong. He made me strong, and it should have been the other way around. He's very resilient.
You're going to whoop him, Archie?
Oh, yeah.
I think I might give you a good run for your money, mate.
He spent a lot of time with Paul Mullin. In fact, he's been incredible. We basically class him as part of our family now after everything he's done.
Shot. I can't lose this. Can't lose this.
I need to win this.
It's quite a difficult thing to explain. From one moment you get sort of, not a happiness, but a joy of being able to provide a bit of comfort and put a smile on the face of someone who's gone through such a challenging time. Yes!
Oh.
As long as I can help with that, it's a good sign for me, because I get to speak to him a lot, but it also helps me to feel better. No pressure, but...
They're trying to easily pull this Band-Aid off that we're going to lose Mullin. You can see the writing on the wall. And they're not making it any easier by making us be more endeared to him by showing us what an awesome guy he is.
Right.
We already knew he was dealing with his own son and his own son's challenges, but here he is giving back to the community as well and just making this kid feel a million times better going through what he's
Well, maybe
going
they're going to offer him some other position in the club.
Maybe. I don't know.
Everyone in America's going to watch this shot. When I was visiting Archie, quickly learned that he was a real big Marvel fan and superhero fan, so I thought there'd be no better way to cheer him up than to giving a friend of mine the call.
You.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe you answered.
Well, of course.
The answer for you?
Sir, he's the superstar. I just work for Paul.
No way.
Can I tell you one thing, Archie?
Yeah, go on.
This is something that's really important. When someone who's going through a lot of, I think we can all say shit, like you are.
Yeah.
And you're talking to me. It's only because the people that are around you love you so much. They love you so much because they're going through this with you. Every single second of this, they go through it with you.
We'd like to thank you all for everything you've done for the town, the football club. We've been going since with 5 generations of Red. And it's wow. It really, really means the world to us all.
Honestly, the club's done more for me than I could ever do for Ed, and this town has done more for me than I could ever do for Ed.
The football club, it means absolutely everything to him. It's something that has been engraved in him from the minute he was born. My window could see the floodlights. He was wrapped in a Wrexham scarf straight away. It's massively helped Archie throughout all of this. Really, really spurred him on. The fact that the whole of the football team have been so supportive in making sure that, Archie is okay has just made it so special.
I will see you soon, and remember, you can get a hold of me, okay?
All right.
Okay, mate.
Cheers. All right, Archie.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Talk to you soon, Paul. Bye.
Bye.
It's a real privilege to be in a position where you can help other people, and to be able to provide that opportunity to Archie and his family was something that I don't take for granted, but something that I love to do anyway.
Is that cool?
Yeah. You and me both, Archie. You and me both. Okay. Damn it. This show.
Gets me every time.
This freaking show, man.
I wasn't expecting that.
Who's Paul
You got to figure with Mullin visiting this young man in the hospital and then walking out of there and realizing I really don't have big problems. You know what I mean? My life's pretty good. Even if I don't make this team, I'll be okay.
Right.
This is reality right here.
Good to see you.
See you. How are you?
Hello. When I first came to Wrexham in 2021, after leaving my role as the CEO of the EFL in 2019, I was an advisor to the board, mostly part-time, but as the club experienced rapid growth and expansion, my role evolved into a more permanent position with broader responsibilities. Come on then, I'll get your pint. My role changed when the decision to bring a new CEO in was made. The biggest change is that I no longer have day-to-day responsibility. I still sit on the board of directors and, provide to Michael and his team, history and lessons from that we've learned so far on this journey.
We don't go up. We get to turn to you guys and go, why did you let us do this? How could you let this happen?
A lot of the jobs that Shaun was doing, Michael is reorganizing within the organization. For us, we want to make sure that he is still a major part of this moving forward.
The club had to change to move forward, and that meant me taking on a new role. The club's success is more important than the degree to which I'm involved, so I'm cautiously optimistic moving forward in this new role.
We need come to lose, do you?
All three of those could get a playoff.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, they've got a set of fixtures that you wouldn't want at this time of year. However, if you're winning, you do want. You just keep going, don't you?
Coming to Wrexham, I hope I've been able to change my image amongst fans in the EFL.
Yeah, so Shaun was, or has been historically, quite a divisive figure. I mean, I think lots of people have taken again him. In his various roles, but particularly as CEO of the EFL, because in that capacity, he's often had to kind of intervene and adjudicate situations surrounding various different football clubs.
Well, I joined the EFL in 2013, left in 2019. It was a job that I absolutely loved, but it came with a significant amount of pressure. All 72 clubs of the EFL fell under your charge, and keeping those clubs in business for the benefit of the communities from which they took their name was one of the key aspects of the job. Every change of control or change of ownership that was happening at an EFL club came ultimately via my desk.
Don't forget this is the EFL, this is our show today. No one's bought your ticket. Stage right, get out. You're not fit for purpose.
A lot of people have laid the sins of football at his door. I know that he's not a very popular figure in Blackpool or in Reading. Or in a number of other places.
Wanker, 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 and useless twat.
Speak of the devil, he's calling me now. You can tell I'm talking about him.
There were issues with many clubs. Blackpool at different times, Charlton, Coventry, all fan groups who had disputes with their owners, who wanted to see a change of control at their club and felt the responsibility did fall to the EFL to achieve this.
You're not fit, you're not proper. Get some people in with proper football governance.
As the CEO of the EFL, you are the face of the organisation. Obviously, then you become, the lightning rod ultimately for any criticism, blame, or even just general angst.
What are you doing, Shaun Harvey? Leeching off the fans like a tick.
Ultimately, at one stage, there was threats against my kids. There was a threat of kidnap at one stage. So,
wow.
There is a dark side to this. It's sad, in reality. Nobody should ever have to go through that.
Big game tonight. We're on our way to Reading. Unfortunately for Reading and their fans in particular, they've been through a number of different ownership sagas. When the current owner of Reading was allowed to buy the club, I was the CEO of the EFL at the time. Whilst it was never my single decision to allow him to buy the club, ultimately I was in charge at that particular time. And whilst the EFL had absolutely no reason not to allow him to buy the club at that time, when things go sour on bad like this, then ultimately there's always got to be somebody to blame.
And some fans blamed me.
All I have ever seen Shaun do in the last 4 years is try and do right by football clubs, particularly Wrexham, because that's been his specific purview. But I think that, his trials and tribulations in the past are often put in a situation where he has got to pick the lesser of two evils. And the people that have suffered as a result of the lesser of those two evils often think, well, you suck. You should have picked the other evil.
We want Danyell, we want Danyell.
There's going to be a protest this evening against the current owner.
Fuck off and sell the club.
There's a number of Reading fans who are wanting to take the opportunity of actually linking it to Wrexham and obviously my involvement at Wrexham.
Passionate fans do crazy things.
Listen, the world is full of nutbags and people who take things way too far and way too serious. And at the end of the day, this is just a game.
Yeah, but for a lot of these people, this is the only positive thing they have in life, and they take it so personally. I mean, look at the 5 generations of Wrexham fans in that one family we just met.
Listen, I understand having, and I'm going to call it what it is, a hobby. I understand that, but no hobby is worth threatening to kidnap someone's family.
Yeah, of course. We don't condone that, obviously, but...
I mean, that's just taking it too... And here's what I always say when people get serious. Those people don't even know you. And that's how you're reacting to them. They couldn't pick you out of a lineup.
Yeah.
You know, people who, like Trump supporters, without getting political, I'm just saying, those Trump supporters have his back, do or die. They're talking about Trump 2028.
Oh, yeah.
He does not know you. He does not care about you. That's just how it is. And these people don't know you. You're allowed to have a hobby and love their club. But when you cross, it's a fine line of hobby and fanaticism.
Yeah.
And fanaticism does not lead to good things. It leads to threatening to kidnap someone's kids.
There's always that extreme end of every fandom that will do just crazy stuff.
And it's for what?
And they believe that they're doing it for the club. They feel like this is my part of being part of this fandom, being part of this team. I'm doing this thing, and I'll be looked at as a hero for doing it, even though they're wrong. You know what I mean?
It's all based on feelings. This is how this is making me feel. Yeah. And feelings are stupid. They're not something, you know.
Remember, kids, feelings are stupid.
Well, today's match is really important.
We can't afford to lose too much footing in this race because there's so many teams that are ready to capitalise. So we need to win, really.
Even a draw tonight puts us in 2nd place ahead of a massive game against Wycombe on Saturday. And with 10 games to go, every point counts.
You know I had to give it to him. Give him everything I got. Give it to him. Yeah, I'm coming in hot. Give it to him. Tell me why would I stop?
This will be a genuine test. For Reading, they have major issues off the pitch, on the pitch. They have continued to be competitive. They lose Sam Smith, their star striker.
Oh.
They lose their manager, Ruben Sellers, and yet they're unbeaten on 8 games, longest unbeaten run in the division.
Okay, so I do know a little bit of this history. Through the comments section, they told us the reason why Sam Smith's team gave him up. We were like, why would you give up your best striker? This team's in major financial problems.
I saw them talking about that.
So the part of them letting Wrexham take over Sam Smith and selling him his contract, I guess, to Wrexham,
the money?
Was so they can have some money to keep the club above ground, keep them going, or they might have to close their doors, kind of thing.
Damn, so now he's back playing against a club that he was, in the beginning part of the season, he played for?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Ref! It's fucking here!
McLean, chance to take on a Breffer, hits the goal line, delivers to the far post, great ball, Barnett drives it, oh, and it's over the bar, corner.
Wow, there it is, there it is, what a chance that was.
Half-time whistle blows, goalless at half-time. I don't think Phil Parkinson will be necessarily satisfied with the performance.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of the fans are boycotting the games because they're so angry with the management of the club. They're like, we're not going to give you our money. You know,
yeah. I mean, look, that whole section's empty.
Even though the thing that the club needs most is money to keep it afloat. I don't know.
Right. Instead of kidnapping Shaun's kids, why don't you donate a couple pounds?
I don't know.
This is not the performance of a team who are competing to grow up.
As Reading kick off the second half, Wrexham need to dig in and find the back of the net to secure 3 points and keep their edge on Wycombe. And Revan's beaten in the air by Campbell. Ooh, and O'Connell's beaten to it. He's given a penalty.
Oh, God.
Now, did O'Connell make a challenge there, or is he just coming across?
Fucking hell! Are you winding me fucking up?
And it's just such a poor start to the second half for Wrexham.
Fucking die.
Changes the angle, right-footed, hits it and scores, and Okonkwo deceived by Nibs' move and guessed the wrong way. Wrexham, after 3 consecutive clean sheets, concede a penalty.
So Wrexham restarts and needs a step up here.
All right, there's loads of time left.
O'Connor drilling it long, headed away firmly. In the middle of the pitch, O'Connell conceded the penalty, gives the ball away. Garcia cutting inside, tidy on the ball, finds the other inverted fullback, Abrafa. And it turned nicely round the corner. This is a good move. Wing
Come on, Artie.
on, and now he can hit this and he scores. And that is a lovely move and a very, very well taken goal by Wing. But Wrexham have had a nightmarish start at this half.
Great goal by Reading. Real tough ask now for Wrexham to try and get back in this game. This is a real test of your promotion credentials.
Still got more than half an hour left. There's plenty of time in the game. It's just that Wrexham need to step this up massively.
Let's go, come on!
And now the ball's fed out by Lee to McLean. Chance to cross, stands it up to the far post. Smith heads it in. Great save by the keeper. Longman again, right-footed in, swingers a good ball in, and it's towards goal. Another big save by Pereira. 4 minutes plus added time left. Something's got to go in soon. Again, a right-footed ball in. Barnett gets up, Fletcher gets up, but ricochets loose. Pereira doesn't get there, and somehow it doesn't go in. Smith hits it.
Oh my God, how's he saved that?
Parried on the line, that's outrageous. How that didn't go in, I don't know. That was astonishing. But the save by Pereira was madness.
Wrexham, was that the chance?
Long diagonal by Cleworth. Fletcher and Farl go for the same ball. Farl flicks it on and listen to that cheer as the final whistle blows. Reading.
The home team already had some animosity toward Wrexham, then they get to beat them 2-0 at home. Whew.
And who knows how much that sort of negative energy affects the actual playing.
I don't know. I do not know.
Full value for that.
Damn. Here come the fucks.
So we've been on a good run, and we dust ourselves down, and we go again at Wycombe. So we've got to be mentally fucking strong. This is the time of the season now. We've got to be fucking ready to go again. Ready to go again, and we fucking will be. We will be, you know, mentally and physically ready to go again. Come on, boys, get your heads up, we go again.
So, opportunity missed. We dropped 3 points at Reading today and head to Wycombe away even on points. But they also have a game in hand, which makes Saturday an absolute must-win.
It looks like Birmingham City can't be caught.
Yeah, they got a massive lead.
Yeah.
They're not. People aren't even talking about winning the top anymore. They're just like,
who's going to be in
remember
second?
They used to earlier. There were shows that, and they were like definitely going up, definitely going up. They'd write that on there.
Yeah.
And have the chance to obviously put pressure on Wycombe, and then do that. It's just frustrating.
The Reds may be down now, but Wrexham have been here before. I know they'll never give in and will fight to the bitter end. These players keep reminding us they're just like our famous flag, hopeful, resilient and tough. Red Dragons.
We're still going to beat Wycombe, and we're still going to be promoted. It might take the playoffs, but we're going up. No stopping us, we're going up.
One of the pleasing things about my new non-exec role at the club is that I do have time to be able to go and see some of the projects that we've worked on in full working order rather than just seeing them from a distance. So we're in the Sutu to celebrate the partnership that's in place between Wrexham AFC and Kick for Life FC. Kick for Life is a football club in Lesotho in Southern Africa. They describe themselves as a football club exclusively dedicated to social change. They work with disadvantaged youth throughout Lesotho with an emphasis on health, education, life skills, addressing gender-based violence and a variety of social development issues.
They're all playing barefoot.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Violence and a variety of social development issues.
On behalf of everybody from Wrexham, thank you. This is a privilege for us. So we're here to work with you. We're here to learn from you.
Part of the
plan with Kick for Life was that we actually wanted to get some of their coaches over to Wrexham to actually see what North Wales is like, to understand how we actually integrate with the local community and how we use football as that vehicle for positive change. And now myself, you know, other coaches from the club are able to go out to Lesotho to exchange these coaching methods and generally use football as a positive vehicle for change.
Being the community programs director brings me a huge joy because I'm passionate about what I am really doing, which is using football as a tool to teach them about life skills.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah, boy.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
What is happening behind me is life skills training of the Wrexham coaches. They're going to be trained today on our curriculum, about 3 sessions that focus on health.
So, in Lesotho, 1 out of 4 people has HIV.
It's a huge fraction of the population.
It's a huge fraction of the population.
Lesotho is such a beautiful country, but in Lesotho we have a lot of challenging issues that affect young people.
Kick for Life goes into local communities and schools to teach children about various serious issues like drug and substance abuse, HIV transmission, and gender-based violence. One statistic I was shocked to learn is that approximately 90% of girls and women in Lesotho had experienced gender-based violence.
I myself have experienced gender-based violence. I grew up with my mom. My mom was a single parent by then.
Okay, she was so brilliant. Yes. She was potential. Yes.
I myself went to look for my dad without even telling my mom that I was doing it. So I found him and he was so, happy to see me. But when I arrived at his place, he was supposed to go on a business trip. And then he asked his friend to actually take care of me until he's back. And when I was at his place, unfortunately, his friend forced himself on me. He did it and then he left. And then he came back and then he shot me at the back. When my father came back, he took me to the hospital and then they were dealing with the gunshot and they did not know that I was raped. I didn't tell anyone until I get to Kick for Life in 2010.
Pookie, through the gate or over it. Don't hit my cones.
That's when my eyes were opened to see I might be at the right place. I have been abused and I have not been able to talk to anyone about it. I started the women's football team in 2010 to give girls like myself an opportunity to play football. Most of the girls were stigmatized and discriminated when they play football because the society believes that football.
We really do take for granted a lot of our freedoms and protections in our society. Because to
100%.
us, this to me just sounds so alien. It sounds so like not real. These percentages of people that are affected by AIDS, people that are affected by abuse.
Because in America, AIDS isn't even on our radar anymore.
Yeah,
in the 80s and the 90s, it was
still
a big deal.
Where if you hear someone has AIDS, it's like, wow, I didn't know that was, I didn't know.
And it was an epidemic.
Yeah.
But now we don't even really talk about AIDS anymore. It's not even, they don't even call it AIDS anymore. It's HIV.
Yeah.
So,
it's so eye-opening to, you sometimes you forget that the rest of the world is not like where you're from. I
gotta say, for me personally, my eyes are open to that, because I've always said I'm not America's the greatest country in the world, because I know we have all the flaws in the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Yeah.
Just because the safety. Yes, there's a lot of violence in America, but you got to remember we have almost 400 million people. Per capita, it's almost no violence.
Oh, it's going to be a fun comment section.
Well, I'm just saying, I would rather live in America where my freedoms are protected by our Constitution.
I don't know anymore.
He hasn't done away with due process yet.
Really?
Not as far as I'm concerned. If you or I get pulled over, we're still going to be able to go in front of a judge.
Maybe.
Shut up! That hasn't happened yet. And if that... America.
I'm sure we just shipped a whole bunch of people to Costa Rica with no due process. All right, I'm gonna hit pause.
Here's me. I was about to say, yeah, but they're not American. But I guess, whatever.
The Constitution protects their right to due process.
I couldn't agree more.
Here we go.
Or it should be played by only men. I always tell people, don't let gender to restrict you. Before you are a woman, you are a human. Take yourself as a human and then you'll do anything.
Well, there's about to be an international friendly game between the local high school here and a Wrexham Select 11. Now, some of them are very select, it's fair to say. Pressure's on some of them to complete 2.5 minutes.
So how much does this mean to the school children here in Lesotho?
I mean, it means a lot. For me, it's really more than a job. It's my moral responsibility. If we don't continue to do what we do at Kick for Life, then we can't break the cycle. There's a cycle, and it's quite vicious in Lesotho, and I think as Kick for Life, we are making a change. So it's more than a job. It's really a moral imperative.
We've got a penalty. If we score, we're all on. Anybody ever wants to see what the actual power...
He is so British. Some white legs, man. Oh, my goodness.
Looks like your legs.
Yeah, those legs haven't seen the sun in a minute.
Yeah, just like your legs.
Yeah.
Anybody ever wants to see what the actual power of football is, acting in that universal language, then, you know, this session here in Lesotho answers it in visual form that words could never actually do justice to. If that, we're going to drag her off.
You know, being able to go out to Lesotho and actually see some of the initiatives that we actually talked about in the first place coming to fruition was arguably one of the most rewarding parts of my time at Wrexham.
Hands up! Hands up!
This experience feels like a good example of what my new position at Wrexham has to offer, and I'm really excited to see what other positive changes we can implement in the future. Wrexham is in a unique position where the club's visibility is at an all-time high. If we can use this visibility to spotlight, uplift and advocate for communities that could benefit from greater attention, then, you know, part of Rob and Ryan's legacy will have been completely fulfilled, because we've connected Wrexham to the world and we've got a small community in Lesotho that's benefiting from it.
The Red Dragon endures because it represents something timeless, the ability to rise when knocked down. At Wrexham, this spirit lives in every player, every fan, and throughout the community. It's about more than winning matches. It's about facing each challenge with courage, adapting and fighting the good fight for something bigger than any individual. Together, Umar Ohid.
I want to say Lesotho is one of the countries where Prince Harry has a lot of input, does charity work and stuff there.
Oh, yeah? I wonder how Sam Smith was welcomed back to his old club. Was it the way that, you know, they welcomed him back and cheered him when he got there because of all the good times, or were they...
They seem pretty bitter, I gotta say.
I mean, they ended up beating him, so that part worked out for the fans. But, you know, it reminds me, again, we always go back to Ted Lasso. When Roy went back to his old club and they were chanting his chant when he walked in, it was really touching.
He's here! He's there! He's up in fucking Roy!
He got up and paid respect to the crowd, you know. Anyway.
Oh, man, Ted Lasso, I don't care what the people in the comments say. Ted Lasso was so good.
Hey, season 4 is filming right now.
And I can't even imagine what that's going to be about.
I think it's going to be the women's club. I think they hinted at it at the end of the season 3. Really? Rebecca and Keeley.
Oh, I remember them talking about that.
They said, what about a women's club? So I think that's where they're going to go with it. Maybe they're going to bring Ted back for that. I don't know. But anyway, I hope it's as good as seasons 1 through 3. Anyway, let's get back to this. This episode was called Red Dragons. Emotional roller coaster. We got to see the sadness of the older players that may be leaving the club and having to deal with all the drama around that. We got the young kid with leukemia. That was horrible to have to see what he's going through. We got the poor woman from South Africa and all the craziness that she's going through.
I don't think that's South Africa. I think Lesotho is its own country. It's just inside. Just like I think Zimbabwe and that country, I think, are inside of South Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know that.
I could be wrong, but I think that South Africa, and then I think
there's an island of a country inside of another country?
2, I think.
That's weird.
Zimbabwe, I think, I'm almost positive it's Zimbabwe and then that Lesotho.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I've never heard of a country surrounding another country. Anyway, no, I'm not calling you wrong. I'm just saying I might have learned something today.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what that is.
So that is the end of episode 6. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button down below. It doesn't cost you anything, and it makes us feel good when people like the videos. Thank you so much.
How much does it cost not to hit it? It's free, right?
It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to hit it.
I forget what commercial that is. But they're like, it's this horse meme where the one horse is going, it doesn't cost anything to be kind. And the other horse was like, yeah, but what does it cost not to be kind? Huh? Because it's free, isn't it?
So hit it, don't hit it. There's also an unlike button down there. You can also click on that. And for Danielle. There's also, we ask you to come subscribe to the channel. Hopefully YouTube's not playing games, or Wrexham's not playing games and hiding little stuff in their videos so we can't put it on YouTube.
I hope not, because I have not. I guess I got to re-sign up to your Patreon to watch the last one that we did that Finn was in.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. You don't have to sign up, because if we do end up having to put it on Patreon, as you all know, because you're watching it on Patreon right now, it's free. I do have 99% of the content on Patreon is it's a paid membership, only $1 a month. But if I can't put the Wrexham stuff up on YouTube, I've vowed for the fans that if you want to watch our reactions, I'll put them up for free.
How come I can't get in there to see? I'll look again.
You're just gonna have to resubscribe. You got a job now.
I guess so.
It's only, you don't have to do the full $5 membership. You can do a $1 membership.
It feels like a kick in the shin, though, to just do $1. Not for you all, but for me, since he's my brother, I at least could give him $5 a month.
Let us know in the comments how much Danielle should be donating to the channel every month. Keep in mind, I don't pay her anything based on any revenue from the channel. So.
He does buy me breakfast.
I do.
And cookies.
That's right. I pay her in cookies. All right.
That's the best way to get paid, me to tell you.
That's it for this video. We're getting ready to take a break and come back and film episode 7, Life or Death. And Danielle, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And for anybody who's stuck around here to the end of this silly outro, we appreciate you stopping by. And don't forget to come on back. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, YouTube has an algorithm that knows everything else that you like, and it says that you'll like this right here. So come check it out. And if it's something you've never heard of, give it a click. YouTube knows you, and you probably like it. Don't cry. It's okay.
There's something in my eye.
Okay. All right.